Bespin Bulletin recently reported on a couple production rumors for The Acolyte. It seems like we've heard very little about this series since it was announced back at the end of 2020. It's been nearly 2 years, and it still hasn't entered production, and yet Skeleton Crew was officially announced just months ago and has already begun filming for a 2023 release. Well, it sounds like The Acolyte won't be far behind. Bespin Bulletin is exclusively reporting that production is ramping up at Shinfield Studios in Reading, England. It should begin shooting sometime in November, and it's set to wrap in May of 2023. That means we might see the series premiere in late 2023, but I think early 2024 is more likely. Additionally, Bespin Bulletin has heard that Kate Herron, the director of Season 1 of the MCU series Loki, will be joining the directing staff. Maybe she'll direct the entire series like she did with Loki, or maybe she'll just do an episode or two. That's unclear right now. I haven't seen any of her work outside of Loki, but I did really like that series and its sense of mystery and paranoia. The idea of working for some higher power whose motivations aren't truly known, a power that's manipulating you, those themes will translate well into a series that's been described as a mystery thriller that will take us into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark-side powers. Looking back on what I can remember of Loki from a year ago, I'd be happy to see Herron take the entire series. I'd be happy to have more directors as well, but I found Loki to be very enjoyable and intriguing and engaging the entire way through. Herron had to direct action, comedy, romance, betrayal, mystery, and she kept even the most over-the-top moments fairly grounded. Not to mention making a villainous version of Loki look sympathetic. I think I'd like to see The Acolyte be a little more serious than Loki was with its alligator variants, but also this is Star Wars. There are going to be some goofy and lighthearted moments, even in a story about the dark side. But mostly, I'm just glad to hear of some more movement on the series. It's been mentioned enough times the past 2 years to know it's still happening, but having a start date is way more concrete. This has been one of my most anticipated series since its announcement, specifically because of the mystery of it all. We recently learned that it will be very solidly set in the High Republic era, with the white Jedi robes and stuff like that, which I wasn't expecting. I was kind of thinking, sure, it'll take place in the High Republic, but in name only. The fact that they are seemingly going all in on the aesthetic and the themes makes me so excited. Which makes me wonder if that's why it's taken so long for The Acolyte to begin production. The High Republic books and comics are likely entering their third and final phase in 2023. Maybe the plan is for the entire publishing initiative to end before throwing it up on the big or small screen for a wider audience. If that's the reasoning, I'm all for it. All of the High Republic authors created this era, they set the tone and the aesthetic, and I've been loving it. So I'd be glad to see their vision completed before entering other stories by new writers. And that's wild by itself. Usually it's on-screen stuff that gets book and comic tie-ins, but now we're seeing books and comics set a precedent and get their own sort of spin-offs on screen. I love that. And with all this talk of the books and comics, will you need to read them all to understand The Acolyte? I'm positive that won't be the case. There's no way Lucasfilm will make a huge list of required reading for a TV series. But will reading them all improve your experience? Almost certainly. I, for one, can't wait to potentially see the Jedi at this time with their different robes, their more extravagant lightsabers, their vector starfighters, everything. You've got at least a year and a half, and I will always recommend the High Republic as a good jumping-off point for fans who are new to the publishing side of Star Wars. And if you're excited about The Acolyte, I think reading will only make you more excited. But that's it for today. Hopefully we get some more Acolyte news in the near future. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.